I love this topic. We're going to talk about the higher self and what that actually means and how we can integrate the higher self into our current life and no longer perceive it as separate. Just as we had talked about our ego in the previous video, it is about integrating all of these aspects of ourself that we think are separate. So that includes our guides, that includes our ascended masters, that includes our higher self, that includes all of these things that we think are in a higher frequency or in higher, better, more important or whatnot. It just is us, everything, anyone. We're all connected, which is quite difficult for our thinking brain to register. So your higher self is quite literally connected to you because it is your higher self. It's not outside of you, it's within. Just as the ego is, just when your thoughts are, just as your conscious, it just all is encompassed. So as we think that it's outside of ourself and our higher self, let's just really put our higher self on like a pedestal, is just kind of like not really the point. It's kind of like, how can we really anchor in all those energies and bring them forward and through into earth now? And it's like, how can we ground in those energies? So the higher self, we can really draw in and be like, no, like I'm going to live as my higher self now. Like I am funneling her through, like we are together. I am she is me. And really realizing that you can make that connection, and that, that version of yourself can just be quite literal just now. So connecting to it, to where your higher self you might perceive as like maybe more knowing, or the higher version of yourself, maybe from the higher timeline, or you think is like the better one, something to aspire to, something that you're going to be able to be when you pass or whatever. And it's about connecting to it now, and it all is happening now. Everything across all planes, just consistently, just all is the same in all aspects. So when we are able to really realize what I do now is going to affect my past, my present, and the future, even though it all doesn't exist because it's all right now, it's like funneling in that higher self will really help you kind of align with that highest timeline that you can be living or are meant to be living. So it's really like, how can I show up and live in the highest possible way, from the highest perspective and the broadest perspective, and raise my consciousness and raise my frequency. And those are all going to align to the higher self. So things that are very like tangible things to connect. Meditating, being with yourself, being in your own energy, only your own energy, like nobody else. So you have alone time to be in your own frequency. Journaling to yourself, like connecting to that soul self, connecting to that higher self, building that kind of relationship, and kind of like bringing that gap and closing that gap within yourself, where you don't think that she's like way up here, but really letting yourself rise to her and merging to meet, to be able to like live that through within this earth life. Because so many of us, especially if you're here watching this or listening to this, like your energy is meant to be here to help raise this frequency in the consciousness of the world, of earth right now. So as it goes through its own transition, like we're all here to help bring our own frequency for our own soul missions, to be able to be like, yes, this is how we're supporting you. Were called to be here. You volunteered. It is something that you have been called to do. And the more that you want to like learn about it and connect with it, just is more confirmation within yourself that, yes, I'm in the right space. I'm in the right time. I am on my path, which is the right path. And how can I just live and express that more fully? So really connecting to yourself, to your higher self, is expressing yourself the fullest. How can you just really, truly be yourself, be in connection, be in full expression of yourself, whether that's in the physical way or how you express yourself from your speaking or for what you're doing or through your work or your movement. It's like, how can I truly just really just be fully authentically myself And the more that we can do that is the more that we feel more that connection to that higher self, that flow state, that energy's smoothly moving, things, ideas are coming. Like it's just that connection gets stronger. And you start to morph and kind of change into, it's like this merging, not morph. It's really a merge. It feels like. So the higher self is not outside of you. That's the main gist of this video and this remembrance for yourself. And the light language that'll come through is to help draw those things closer, just as we did with the ego, drawing the ego in. We're going to draw the higher self, not into you, but raising you. This is just going to help raise you to the frequency that your higher self is, so that you can better connect. So it's about tangible things. It's about, like I said, being alone, being in your own frequency, journaling, getting to know yourself more, doing really good things that feel good, being out in nature, connection time, meditating, doing things that you feel are in your slow flow state of whatever creativity things, if that's writing or painting or movement or anything that you feel in that like flow drawn state is going to be the state that you can easily connect. Doing that more, drinking a lot of water, take care of the body, reducing the toxins, being able to clear the vessel, are all just super, super huge. And yeah, so we're just going to help raise this frequency. So this might feel quite intense. So if you want to sit down for this one, preferred if you're not driving, you can just listen to it and relax. And this will help just raise that frequency up and that connection that you might feel a little bit disconnected with. Remember that the connection is always there. It's never severed. And it will be there for you anytime that you want to call on it. You can play this as many times as you want to help connect more and more with your own connection. Okay. Una shitra mo koteri shitekiri dro shitra to kod shitiri dresek shutura to koteri shisai droi hai droi to kosada teri kitiri shutura ta katra satrayu to tra shabondoi oidra kadri shitra to koteri shitra dro sakatrai teri shitoi ma koteri shitrai drai hoidrai sakatari koteri shitra mo to e drai sakai arodro so koshitra boi ketrai shitra kadro teri shito ketrai boi drai shitrai dra mo to kai atro tu ketra setekitra to kotera shitra to kotrai hai dro trai setera katara so koshetrai amuntu kotorush to kotera podoter stre katara. Wish it a wisi, wish it a shot away, wish it take a huita away. With a cow to work that drives a coy tapu cote ita catro tutti tras coy dry. And just take a deep breath in. And out. Good. Amazing. That felt great. I don't know how you feel after this video, but whew, I feel like I just put a bunch of crystals on my body. So let me know how that feels, and I will see you in the next video. And yeah, just drink some water after this. If you're listening to this today, drink a lot of water. Yeah. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.